Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us again on another episode of Leading on Mondays. My name is Flor Lungo, and I'm so delighted to be with you today. And today, I'm joined, as usual, by my friend and teaching partner, Madalina Ginescu. Welcome, Madalina.
Hey, Florin, it's so nice to be here again on our next episode on the Mondays, as usual. And today we are going to talk about the cost shift from perks to price. And we prepare some topics for today, and we are going to discuss why it's important for any leaders to have this cost shift, why people usually don't have this cost shift, and what can you do as a leader to have this cost shift in your life. So first we are going to discuss, Florin, can you let us know from your perspective why it's important for any leader to have this cost shift?
Yeah, I think for me and for the leaders that I speak with, um, if we're able to shift from the benefits, if you look at perks, benefits, the reason why many times people want to be a leader, right? Their motivations are actually self-centered, because I'll have the freedom to do whatever I want. I'll have the company car. I'll have the nice office. I'll have the nice salary. I'll have this and I'll have that. And this is focused on us and the benefits of leading. And the challenge is that, that is very much self-centered. And also, the reality is not about that. If you think about people that take leadership position, they say, oh, I thought I have more freedom when I'm going to be at the top compared to when I was at the bottom. And you know what?
Mm,
Well, that's not the case, because people and stakeholders and your manager and your supervisor will give you things to do, and you'll have a lot of things to do, and you have actually less freedom. So people that are focusing on the perks and benefits of leading realize that the reality is not exactly that way, and maybe they're not now willing to pay the price to leading.
mm,
But if we are realistic about the prices that we need to pay and the sacrifices that we need to make in order to lead, and we do that with an open mind and an open heart to serve others, that's when we become leaders. If you think about someone that you really admire as a leader, you're not gonna look at them and say, "Oh, I see now why they're a leader, because they like this, they like that, and they like the benefits." You're gonna probably say something. Oh, I see
mm,
why they are a leader. They're serving other people. So I think this is kind of,
mm,
for me, this is why it's important, because the first one focuses on the benefits of leading, and if that motivates your decision to become a leader, well, that's not focusing on other people, and it's probably not going to go too far, because you're going to be too self-centered. But if we're able to understand what is the price of leading and be willing to pay the price of leading and focus on other people, that's when magic happens. So for me, I think that's why it's important for leaders. What do you think? Have you
wow.
seen this? Have you
Mm.
seen this played out in someone's life or in your life?
Well, actually, I noticed this in my life, the price you are willing to pay. So first of all, I also had this kind of mentality, as you said, to when I think about leadership, I thought, yeah, I will have the power, I will have control, I will be more free. I don't have anybody nagging me to do this and that and that. But guess what? You as a leader will have other leaders above you. So it's not the end of the line for you. So you will be the ultimate leader, and nobody will bug you anymore. But then, studying leadership more and more, I realized exactly what you said. It's not it's not about focusing on the benefits, but more focusing on people. So the better you be at this, focusing more on others and being a better leader for them. When you focus on this, is you actually become a better person and a better leader. But if you don't do that, you fall into the other extreme, where this, exactly as you said, this won't go on the long term. So sooner or later, people will notice you, and you will lose the privilege, and you will lose the position and the reputation of being a good leader. And guess what? You will be back
Yeah.
when you need to follow others. So in my case, I didn't have this kind of idea, but this kind of experience, but I had a different kind of experience where I talk about the price that I had to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So back in 2015, when I decided to join the John Maxwell Team Education Program, I found out the price, like the money I needed to pay, and I said, "Oh my God, I really want to do that," because it was when I found out the program and what it can do for me and how can I evolve in my career with this. I said, "Yeah, this is for me. This is what I want. This is part of my vision." But then I found out the price and I said, "Oh, why can I do just this simple program without paying that much money? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't there a program for me to do? So I maybe it's for free, or maybe I can pay $50, 50 euros, something like that, and it will help me for the whole life." Just simple as that, right?
Yeah, of
No,
course.
no, it's not like that. Because when you pay $1, 1 euro to something like this or a pen, you don't care about this pen if you paid $1. Just okay, I will throw it away because I paid $1. But if I paid $1,000 for this, I will treasure it. If
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have the ink anymore, I will replace the ink, but I will keep it because I paid $1,000 for this. So this happened the same in my example. When I heard the price, I said no, I cannot afford it. But the vision was stronger than the price I had to pay. I said I need to do something to be able to pay the price. And at this moment, at that right moment, I had one moment of reflection. What can I do? I really want to do this program, but I don't have enough money. What can I do? Well, I have enough money, but for that would mean to reduce my way of being, not to buy sweets anymore, not to go to movies, not to go to, I don't know, having parties or going at the club and eating lunch outside, yeah, in a restaurant. So I had to do some sacrifices in my personal life to be able to
Mm-hmm.
afford this. And I said, even though I cannot afford it and it will, some more expenses will come into my life and I really cannot afford it, I will eat bread with butter on top just to make sure that I can go through this program and I can pay the price. So once I had this vision about my life, I said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I got two things. First of all, I realized that I can do whatever I need to do to achieve what I want, what I really
Mm-hmm.
want.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, some bonuses came into my life afterwards. Guess what? Because I was willing to pay the price, whatever it costs, some benefits from some financial benefits afterwards came into my life. Some help from my family also came into my life. And I could definitely go through the program. And here I am today. But I was willing to pay the price because I did a balance. What is the benefit and what is the cost of it?
Mm-hmm.
Because the benefits was way higher. I said, okay, I'm willing to do the sacrifice, financial sacrifice, and reduce my way of being because the benefit is way higher. And on a longer term, guess what we discussed last week? It's a growth. It's a longer process, so it's a benefit for a long time, not for okay,
Sure.
I'm paying this and I'm using it one time and then I throw it away. No, it's for the lifetime. So
And
this is my example
sure.
with the benefits and the price.
And I heard you say this story before, and I want people actually to get this. So at the very beginning, when you look at a program, you saw the benefits and you wanted the benefits of the program, right?
Yes,
But you
definitely.
were kind of doubting if you should pay the price or not.
Yeah, I said no, it's too much. It's too much money for this, even though it's for a lifetime program.
Yeah,
So I will have this access to the program for a lifetime. So I said, no, it's too much for the lifetime. No, it's too much to pay. The voice
right.
in my head was talking.
Right. So you're seeing the benefits and you would want the benefits of the program, but you are not sure if you want to pay the price.
Yeah.
And actually, a quote that I read by John Maxwell, he says that a price, it's what stands between you and your potential. If you want to become a
Mhm.
better leader, you have to be willing to pay the price,
Yeah.
right? So a
Yeah.
price is what stands between us and whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah. Yeah.
question is, are you willing to pay the price, right? And when I started, like many young leaders, I wanted the benefits of leading. I wanted to build a career in the organization that I was with. I wanted to get the next position, and I know in order for me to get this position to become a section manager or department manager, I needed to go through these steps, right? I kind of knew what the career path would look like, and I just wanted to go in this leadership position, do the best I can so I can be promoted. So it was focused on me and the benefits of me being there, right? I didn't
Yeah.
really thought about other people, and I wanted authority, I wanted a salary, I wanted all the things that a young leader would want, right?
Yeah.
But but I was not really ready to pay the price for that, because when I had to travel for about 2 hours in the snow, through the snow, to actually have a conversation with one of my team leaders, with team members that made a mistake, and we had to kind of almost fire him, and I needed to go
Mm.
and kind of hand him a letter, like a corrective, like a corrective measure letter somewhere.
Mhm.
He's on an expedition in the mountains, and I need to go there physically, because the letter should be given 30 days after the event. If not, then it's obsolete. So one of those things I
Ooh.
really needed to do, and I was not ready. It was really, really uncomfortable for me to do those things. But I wanted the perks of being a leader. I wanted the company car. I wanted all of those things. So when
Yeah.
we understand that there is a cost for everything, right? There is a price that we have to pay for everything. And leadership, actually, as a leader, you probably have to pay a higher price than your team.
Yeah. 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 Oh, that's important. That's important. Yes. Very good point. Remember, and I will say it again, you as a leader might have to pay a bigger price than the other people in your team or the people you influence. Whoa, this is huge because people don't think like that. They only see the benefits, and I will be the king. I will just sit back and relax and everybody else is doing the job. But when you realize that actually there are more prices to pay, not only financial, I was talking only the financial
Yeah,
part, people are disappointed and they say, oh, okay, maybe I don't want to be a leader anymore.
yeah. And this is also now, looking back at my journey with that organization, that's also what actually had me, quit the organization and then move to Sweden, because I was actually watching my leaders, and I said, well, okay, in that organization we were actually working long hours, and as a leader you really had a lot of responsibilities. And I realized, oh, I actually don't want my manager's job. I don't want to work nights, I don't want to work
Mhm,
evenings, I
mhm.
don't want to work Saturday mornings or Sunday afternoons, was the time when they were kind of sending out the emails that they didn't have the
Uh-huh,
time to catch up during the day or during the week. And so when
uh-huh.
you see those
Oh,
coming in your inbox, say, well, I don't really want to do that. So although I kind of wanted the position, his position, but I was not willing to pay the price. But it was a values mismatch, right? I
mm,
didn't felt that we are sharing the same values. But still, right? I wanted the position. I didn't want to pay the price. But because here we're looking at price, I think it's important for us to have some perspectives on price. So here is three perspectives on price. First
yeah.
of all, we know that John Maxwell teaches us that everything worthwhile it's uphill, right? So in holding his hand, right, and he's there in times like this, like in with COVID, with the situation in Ukraine, in Europe, and the energy crisis, the uphill it's even steeper, right? The
Oh,
uphill
yeah.
it's even steeper. So in other
Okay.
words, if we expect as leaders the journey to be easy, and for us to kind of have the benefits of leading but not paying the price, then we're setting an unrealistic expectation first for ourselves, but also for the team. Like if we're not setting realistic expectations for our team and we tell them that's going to be easy and it's going to be like that, and we'll have all the benefits of us hitting the goal, when they have to do the work, when there will be challenges, when then we have when you will have to, maybe bring a bad news as I was going to do in that example. And it's very difficult to do that if you have not been realistic about the journey ahead and the price. So sometimes we are unrealistic about the price. We are unrealistic about how long it's going to take and how much effort it's going to take. And if we actually share that vision with our team, what will happen is that they'll feel that, oh, okay, this is going to be an easy one. And the challenge is that they're going to get disappointed.
Mm.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. I could relate to what you said already.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was
great.
thinking actually more in my
Yeah,
head.
great.
Yeah.
The second one here, the second perspective is that you as a leader, you have to go first. Like in other words, if you ask your team maybe to work overtime, maybe you have a challenge, maybe you need to put more effort into a project or something like that, you cannot just do that and ask your team but not do it yourself. We
Oh
see
yeah.
these kind of leaders that will say, well, they say to their teams, go there, rather than let's go there, right? They're how we call this, they're a travel agent. They send you somewhere they never been, right?
Ah,
While
yeah.
you're a guide, you're taking your team somewhere you've been, right? Or you're going with your team.
The
So
difference
again,
between a guide and a travel agent. Yeah.
exactly. So when you think about the
Oh,
price,
good
right?
example.
When you think about the price, you actually have to pay it first. Like before you ask your team to do something, you have to be willing to do it and to do it. Like I shared an example, I think in the last episode with one of the leaders I was talking to about a training program that they were not wanted to be part of. They wanted to do that for the team. If
Mhm.
they're not willing to do that, then how would the team perceive it? So absolutely, we have to pay it first. And secondly, or actually the third thing is about consistent effort. In other words, we have to be consistent. We have to continuously working on ourselves, working on improving ourselves, paying the price,
Mhm.
because it's not about one time you pay the price and then you're done. The leadership price, it's a price that we pay every single day, every single
Mhm.
hour.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
eh,
Mhm.
you know, whatever we pay as a sacrifice or a price to get here is not going to take us where we want to go. So there will be a bigger price. There will be another price that we don't see yet, but we have to be willing to pay that in order to stay consistent in the game.
Mhm. Wow. Yeah. You put it right in the right words, and I'm happy that you shared with us. And I would like to discuss now about the benefits of this
Mhm.
cost shift because okay, now we see why people don't do the shift and what you should pay attention to before having this cost shift. But people don't realize what is the benefit of having this cost shift. And
Mhm.
first of all, I would like to say that you are more and more involved,
Mm.
like in my example, when I paid the price, the financial price, and it was out of my league at that moment, it was something I could not afford. I was more involved in the program because I did the sacrifice. I made a big effort from my part. So whenever you are sacrificing something, you are more willing to be more involved in the topic. So it's
Committed, right?
more as a guarantee.
Yeah, you're
If
you're
you
committed to
Yeah,
your.
you're
Yeah.
committed to this. So it's
Hmm.
important for you to understand when you are doing the sacrifice, to have in mind the goal. Why are you doing
Hmm.
this? What is the biggest benefit for you? Would you like to have this in your life? Because once you do the sacrifice, then you need to have the consequences if it's not something that you liked to do. Let's say, for example, if it was a longer the way, I would notice that this program, it was not for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I did a financial sacrifice, then I had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Said,
Yeah.
yeah, I did a mistake. I made a mistake. I This is how I judged at the moment, and I found out that it's might not be the right thing for me.
Yeah.
But so far, it's not my case. I'm so happy that was one of my better decision, the best decision that I did, that I have.
Yeah.
And second of all, when you are in the game paying prices, you become a better person.
Mm.
And when you have the price to pay, let's say for example in your business world, because we are talking about leaders and we are talking about business world, but once you start to notice the sacrifices and the pace you need to the payment you need to pay, it also goes around 360 degrees in your own life with your
Mm.
family. Am I willing to pay the price to me work too much and sacrifice the family time or not?
Mm-hmm.
Or this is where I draw the line and I said, okay, this is my business from here to here. And then this is my time with my family from here to here.
Exactly.
So
So it,
is it worth it to sacrifice the family for business, or vice versa? Is it worth it to sacrifice the business for the family? And this is like, as a third benefit, it helps you to better evaluate the implications in your life, because once you are doing this, like a small exercise, a simple exercise at the beginning with, okay, let me see the price to pay, let me see the benefits, if is it worth it, is it not worth it. Once you start doing this small exercise, it will become bigger and bigger and more important in your life, and you will see better implications in all the areas of your life. Is it worth to buy this car or not? Is it worth for me to go and start another business or not?
yeah.
But there is one but. I found out a quote from one of the books from Maxwell, from an American missionary, and I noted down so I don't forget and I don't read
Sure.
the quote because it's so important. For I didn't realize until I saw this quote. So here it is. If you succeeded in something without sacrificing anything, it means that other people did the sacrifice for you, and
Mm.
it's not finished. If you sacrifice without achieving the goal, then someone else will take over succeeding based on your efforts. I said,
Wow.
whoa, this
That's
is
so good.
huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is huge. I didn't think about sacrificing like this. So I said, yeah. I didn't do much sacrifice, but guess what? I sacrificed my relationships with others. People sacrificed. Somebody helped me with money in the past. So yeah, I didn't do too much. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but other people sacrificed their financial um, balance to help you.
Sure.
And
Or
yeah,
or
go
or,
ahead.
or parents and children,
Or parents.
right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
children have it easy, then maybe the parents sacrifice, and now we're doing like, now because we have a newborn in a family, like the perspective changes completely, because
Wow,
now
yeah.
we think even longer term. Like now I'm not when I'm even making a decision in our life, I'm not thinking about how I'm going to live my life. I'm thinking about how Adam, our son, is going to live his life. And we are in
Mm-hmm.
our 40s, and so he's going to probably live, you know 80, 90, 100 years, I don't know, from now. So think about that's 22, 21, 22, like 2120. Like I cannot
Something.
even
Yeah, yeah,
imagine
yeah.
how the life will look like then. But
Yeah.
I have that perspective. I have the perspective that I'm doing some things to offer him the best opportunities that I can. So then I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of paying the price for him, right? To have a not an easier life, because that's not what I want for him, but to have more opportunities. So and my
Mm-hmm.
parents have sacrificed, and your parents have sacrificed to
Yes.
offer us the opportunities that we had to go to school, to go to university, and all of those things that they have probably sacrificed for us. So yeah, I think it's so good, that quote, that if you're If you're
Yeah.
sacrificing right now, you don't see the benefits. You're doing it for the coming generation, or for the coming leaders, or for the coming, you know, family members. And if you're feeling that you're having the benefits, and you're not paying the price, someone else has paid the price for you.
Yeah, yeah. This is a huge quote, and I will put it somewhere just to see it, because it actually helps me to switch, yeah, to have this mindset that okay, if I'm not willing, if I'm not paying the price, I need to look who is paying the price for me.
Yeah, yeah, that's so important. Yeah,
I would like to continue, Florin, with helping us as leaders or future leaders. What can we do to actually get into this coast shift, to practice it in our lives?
yeah. I think it's more about practicing what I shared before. So if you think about that, I share kind of three perspectives on price. If in order for us to get
Mhm.
better at paying the price and getting the mindset right, is to be realistic about the price. Like first of all, if we're realistic about the price, and then we're willing to pay the price, that will allow us, right, to set the right expectation. And sometimes if we underestimate how long things are gonna take, and how many resources are going to be needed, then what happens is that we get disappointed, and maybe we even quit paying the price because we were
Mm,
not realistic. In other words, you had an expectation of how long. I remember you shared this in the last episode. You have an expectation of how long it's going to take you to build your business, right?
yeah, yeah,
Until
yeah.
you get income, right? How long is going to take you to go through this program? I had an expectation of how long I'm gonna have to do this before I'm able to switch completely between doing this part time and doing this full time, and all these type of expectations. And I can honestly tell you, I didn't say it's gonna take me as long as it took me. I probably had said I'll do it in half. I'm good. So in other words, I was unrealistic about the price, and I had many times along the way kind of doubted if should I continue or not. Have I
Mm,
been
mhm.
realistic about the price and say this is probably going to take 7 or 8 years to get the level where I'm in right now, which is exactly what it took? Then it would have been maybe on one side I would have not even started the journey because oh it's too big of a price. I'm not willing to wait
Ah,
for 8 years. So but 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 as leaders we need to be realistic about the price. And if we're realistic
mhm,
about the price
mhm.
and we accept paying the price, then we're good, right? That helps us getting into the mindset. Secondly, it's as I shared, we have to be out in the front. Like what differentiates great leaders from other leaders is that they do more than others do, and they do before others do. So in other
Mhm.
words, if you really are realistic about the price, and you do it first, and you pay the price. Think about, now I just saw the Virgin Atlantic were announcing their gender neutral uniforms. So if like in every airline companies, there's kind of a uniform for men and one for
Yeah,
women,
yeah.
and for cabin crew. Well, now they created a gender neutral. Like they created three uniforms, and you could choose whichever you want.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm,
it doesn't
mhm.
matter your gender. You choose which one you want, and they're okay with that. So this is a definitely something that they're doing. They're kind of setting the standard already for other organizations that they're not willing to pay the price for creating an inclusive organization. So that's what separates great leaders from other leaders. They do it first, and they do more than others do, and they do it before others do. And if we want to build this mindset of paying the price, that's what we need to do. We need to go and pay the price first. And the third thing is
Mhm.
to stay consistent, right? We mentioned about you know staying in the game, and continuing to pay the price, because it's not going to be a one-time pay and then you pay it and you go, and that's it. It's going to be continuous investment. You're going to have to New technology will arise, new markets will open. We talk about TikTok and other social media platforms. Now we need to pay the price to learn those platforms, to be on those platforms, to actually take the benefits of those platforms. And if we don't do that, and if we don't go there first, eventually, like I was one of those that was in denial. I follow a guy that talked about TikTok in probably 2019, 2020, and I ignore it.
Mm.
And now
Okay.
everyone is on TikTok, right? So and it's not only that you have to pay the price, but you have to want to do it first, and also then to consistently pay it.
The
And
price. Mm-hmm.
because we know there is this compounding effect of consistency. Like if every single day you pay the price of doing the work you want to do, you maybe, as you said, you maybe spend one hour less with your family, you maybe sleep 1 hour less, maybe you read in the bus, or whatever you need to do. But if you do that over time, that compounds. So I think these will be three things on price and how to develop this mindset of being willing to actually pay the price.
Wow. You made me think.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the goal, right? That's the
Yeah, yeah,
goal.
yeah,
We
yeah,
need
yeah.
to
And
reflect on these things and see how do they apply to our life. If there is something we could do differently, all the things that will help us, become bigger and better. I think that's the reason why we're having these talks, and I hope we're adding value to people.
And we are here also to, if you have questions and or if you have something you realize something about your own life, your business that you don't know exactly how to handle. We are here for you to discuss. Yes, to help you to go through the next to the next step.
Absolutely. So
So
yeah, feel free to
yeah,
reach out. Yes. Yeah, we're always
yeah.
open, and we'll make the time to speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, because this is why we are here. We like adding value to people, and I'm so happy, Florin, that we are doing this together because every single time the new ideas, even though I discuss with you what we need to what we need to talk about,
Yeah.
you still come with new ideas that it helped me with my to brighten my perspective. So thank you very much for you're also adding value to me, and you're already adding value to me, and I'm pretty sure for the people who are listening to us. And for our next episode, guess what? This is not over because we have
No,
another another shift that we are going to discuss next week. This is related to the relational shift, and it's the shift from pleasing people to challenging people, because every single leader will go to this position to have people in their influence circle that they need to handle with everything. Yes, not only to discuss about how can I help you as a leader, but also to challenge you as a leader.
that's
So we are going to
for
talk
some,
about this next
yeah,
time. Yeah.
for some people-oriented leader, that will be a challenge. So let's discuss that next week. Because we want people to feel good. We
Yeah.
want people to have a great experience. But if we don't challenge them, right,
Yeah.
then
Nothing.
we're not gonna
Nothing will
actually.
work. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some things will work, but we're not gonna reach our potential as a
Oh
team,
yes. Sorry. Yeah.
right?
It
So
won't work at the
yeah.
best approach.
All right.
Good. We
All
are
right.
looking
Thanks.
forward.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. Looking forward to see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.